I thought we would drop in again on Big Bertha here and see how she's doing. She has grown since the last time I showed her. I still work on this like pretty much every night. I do just a little bit while I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with Jason or whatever. So yeah, she's progressing nicely. I don't remember what I've added since last time, so I'll just point out a few things and pretend like you haven't seen them before, because I don't recall. I don't think, last time we went through this, I don't think that I had put any napkins or tissue papers in. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I think those are new. Some of them I had used some Daddy Vans so they'd be transparent, others I didn't, but I have several of those scattered about. And I've taken out most of the inserts so that I can work on them easier. And some of them I've slipped back in when they start getting filled up. That one's still got a ways to go. I love this page. It makes really no sense at all, but I really like the way that it turned out. I need a little something in there, don't I? I'll find something to stick in there. But I don't know what it is about it, but I really like it. I did find I had some pieces of book pages that I'd torn out for something else, and I made several of these blackout poems. Let me see. I'll have to get closer to read this one. This one says, "The house is dark blue from the foaming rock and billowy swell." Yeah, makes sense. They were from something like a book of poems from Homer or Virgil, or, you know, one of those really oddly worded things, old things. Yeah, this page I do not like. It's just confused, so it needs some work. This one I absolutely love. I think I said that last time, and I've added some more stuff to it, and I'm just loving it more. Pretty sure I showed those last time too. And this is starting to shape up. It'll get there. I haven't done much to this. These are slowly taking shape. I'll show you when I get through the glues and supplies and things that I'm using, because I've had some questions about that. Another blackout poem. This one says, "Take the huge city with oars rising together." Okay, that's the best I could do with that little piece. And I just added this the other day, and that was from a napkin. I really like those. I had several of these. I can't remember if they were in there last time, but they are paint samples. They're texture paint. Old. I've had them for years and years. But I took them, cut them out, and put them in these slide mount things. I bought a box of those ages ago, and so that's all that is. This I really like. It's odd, but I like it. And I like her. I haven't done much with this because I like to just feel the paper. So yeah, just kind of, I put this on there and that's about it. Added a little bit to these girls. And this one just started shaping up yesterday. These are some napkins and printed out stuff. This one I like this doesn't really go with this, but that's okay. It's like, I ought to put just a big line of washi tape down the middle or something, so, you know, they'll be like separate. I did add some washi tape through here. I don't know if I did that last time or not. And I've done a little bit more doodling, but I just do that off and on as I am inspired. And I'm looking for just the right something to go there. Yeah, haven't run across it yet, but something's going to come up eventually. This one just started shaping up a few days ago. I'm liking it. It's got the tea bag pouch thing. That's a piece of a stamped tissue paper, die cut, product packaging, scraps, napkin, die cut, collage sheet, a little bit of everything. Same with this one. She came out of a magazine. These are napkins, and that is I think that came out of a magazine, and then some stamped on tissue stuff and junk mail. I like that. And I've got a couple things in there. Postage receipts. I think this has to be my favorite page in the whole book. I don't know why. I just really like the way this came together. You know, she's just right. Everything's just right. The colors are just right. The images are just right. I just like it. Oh, another blackout poem. Together with long billows, they had the victor hail his ship. Twice they've used billow, the word billow. I wish I could remember who. I think it was Virgil. It's a book of Virgil's poems. I'm pretty sure that's where this came out of. And this one needs a little something something right there. There's that one. Work in progress. Junk mail. I really like these. Those were just some extra little die cut things that I had. Nat Geo product packaging. Napkin. Punched a scrap of scrapbook paper. Some tissue, packaging, and that image. I have a couple of those. It must have come out of a magazine. This one I'm still working on. I want to doodle those up some more. Oh, this one I really like. These, okay, remember these? These I had, there were pockets right here, and I had little stuff in there. It was hard to get in and out of there. That's not a good place to have a pocket opening. So this picture was in another paint brochure, and I cut it out. It already had this sort of semi-round border on it. So I cut it out and stuck it on there, and now that's just fun. I like that. Really, I get giddy every time I open it and look at that. It's fun. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with these yet. I just keep putting those off because I don't know. This was a paint sample card for red colors. You can kind of see the little red swatches underneath. But I put this napkin over it. I really like that. And I think that's a book page and a piece of a napkin. And that coffee filter is just there. And I don't know where it's going. We'll figure it out later. That was some product packaging, die cut, scraps, junk mail, printout. This one I really liked. I thought I did until I looked at it again last night, and I don't know what I was thinking, sticking that big bottle of Tanqueray right next to that baby. That's just not right. Why did I do that? Well, it was green. It was obviously a green theme. I stuck it on there. I don't know. I'm sorry, honey. I'm going to probably have to stick something over the baby. Because that's just, I don't know. Makes me uncomfortable. Oh, maybe I should have put that right there. Yeah, who knew? Okay, that's alright. Yeah, this is coming along slowly. And this one. And I haven't figured out what I'm going to do there. That was a little book page. packaging and book pages, and I'm still working on that weird doodle. I think I had most of all this down last time. And this one I put a napkin over. It's got a little slot here, and that's a napkin, and just some more scraps, book pages, and this is another little paint flyer thing, and it had lots of purple colors, so I just stuck purple stuff to it. Completely covered up that side, but I like it. And this one I'm still working on, but I like it so far. This one is sort of confused, but you know what? It'll come together eventually. There we go. That was, I think, off of a calendar page. And see, that one I didn't Daddy Vans. I didn't put the wax on it before I glued it down, so it's all hazy. This one I did wax it, and you can see right through it. It makes a big difference. Okay, I don't know if I'm still in frame because I can't see my camera display from down here. I have to put my camera way up there so I can get a wide enough angle for this big honking thing. Oh, I love these. This was out of a Nat Geo, and that was a fruity yet strong Altoids ad. And another Nat Geo, love that. I'll find something for there. Drop paper and napkins. And oh, this was out of Nat Geo. This is they had a whole thing on food in one of the past issues. And this shows the inside of a refrigerator. This one is owned by a bartender. And this one, with all the healthy fruits and vegetables and stuff, that's owned by a midwife and a science teacher. And then this one has a bunch of eggs and some leftovers. That's a football coach and a social worker. And then this rather empty one down here is owned by a street advertiser. I don't know what a street advertiser is, but I'm assuming it's a sign spinner, one of those sign spinners. I don't know. I thought that was fascinating, though. Nat Geo. I haven't done a lot in this one because I really like the pages. I could put a calendar page in it, but I don't want to cover over too much because I like some of it. And that one's got a good start. That one I really like. It just went blue. And this one is looking good. And this one got a little weird, but it's starting to come around. I love those. There we go inside. Fun stuff in there. This one's starting to come around too. It was having problems, but yeah, it's getting there. And the back. So, there we have it. Coming together. And I'm really, really liking it. And I can't wait. Like every night, I can't wait to sit down and just go through my stuff and start gluing things in and see what happens. And I'll show you what I'm using and how I'm deciding what to put in there. Okay? Okay. Let's see. Oh, these are some of the little inserts that I had tucked in the pockets, and I pulled them out so I can see them and work on them easier. Some of them will have a little, you know, partially done something on them, and they're just waiting for more. And then others I don't have anything on them yet, but I may decorate them or I may cut them up and use them inside the book. I don't know, but I have those to choose from. And then I just brought down several napkins from my art room, and some of them I've cut, some of them I haven't, and I just keep them. I keep them on this paper plate because occasionally I'll go in and I'll put some Daddy Vans. I'll wax them, and that way they're fine on the paper plate. So I've got those to choose from. I've got let's see, I'll show you those after this. This is the little tray that sits on the couch next to me, and no, it doesn't always stay this neat looking. It usually ends up spread out all over the couch, but you know, what are you going to do? I have a way to keep it neat if I want to do that. I have that option. So in here I have just little pieces of stuff from my image binders, and occasionally I'll go upstairs, I'll go through some stuff in my art room, I'll grab a few more things, I'll bring them down, I'll add them. Some stuff I'll look at it and go, oh no, I'm not ever going to use that, I'll take it back up, you know, so I switch it out on occasion, refresh it. But I've got that kind of thing. I've got these are just small little bits, and I just put them in these little bowls so that I could see them and dig through them easier, because they were getting spread out everywhere. And these are just some scraps and some phrases and junk mail, and then some more of those slab mount things. The glue that I'm using right now is for heavy, thick pieces, you know, or like long strips of cardstock like this. Most images, things like that, I use, of course, my Tombow Mono Multi-Liquid Glue, because it's nice and sticky. But anything I need to decoupage on there, you know, over and under glue, I'm not using Mod Podge. It's just too much of a mess to use on the couch. But this is easy. This is that Elmer's Craft Bond gel. And I just squirt it out. It's a clear gel. And then I take my credit card and spread it, lay my tissue paper down, and then go over it again to make sure it's all sealed. So that's working just fine. And I have some little pieces of wax paper in there that I put down so I can turn my pages and they won't stick while waiting for that to dry. So those are my little bits. I have some larger magazine pieces here. Usually I go and get the mail and I'll go through it and go through the junk mail and cut out whatever I want to use and stick it in here. I'll look through the magazines that come in, pull out the images that I want, stick them in here. And so I have like a constant influx of new stuff in here. These are scraps from my paper scrap bin. Just all kinds of little, you know, painted paper, scrapbook paper, decorative paper, that kind of thing. And I have a few pens. These are the ones that will write on the glossy paint samples, so I can doodle on them. Got some scissors, bone folder, use some nori paste on occasion if I'm not in the mood for that. I've got a little bit of nori. I think it's almost empty. And a hole punch. And then these are just long strips. I use a lot of these for borders in there. So that's just out of my scrap bin. And then same thing, but these are the shorter ones, short strips. So that is about it. Oh, these are some extra. This is the little book that I was pulling those small pages. Oh, how'd you get there? You are misfiled. Where do you go? I don't even remember. You go right there. Okay. Yeah, those small book pages came out of this book, which I love. And then I've got some junk mail. I've got some product packaging. I've got some calendar pages. Magazine pages, a couple sheets of scrapbook paper, that kind of thing. So it's all right there sitting on the couch next to me. I can just grab and go through. I have been doing a little bit of doodling, not a whole lot, but I've been also adding just some colorful borders with markers. I'll show you what I'm using. I'm using my dollar store markers. They're working fine. I've got my paint pens in there because I do use paint pens on occasion. But for the most part, yeah, these super cheap, literally dollar store markers. And, you know, some of them will kind of bubble up on the glossy stock. I'll just toss those aside and pick a different one. But for the most part, most of them, they'll do just fine. You got to give them a couple minutes to dry on the glossy, but they're fine. So yeah, good way to use up your cheap markers if you have a stash of them for some reason. I do. And okay, that's it. Just wanted to update you on Big Bertha. She's coming along just fine. And I don't know where she's going from here. Oh, I was going to tell you how I decide what to put where. Okay, and I should probably explain this. Where'd it go? Here. Okay. People think differently and they design differently. And the way I do it, and I've always done it this way, and it's the way some folks do, but most of the time, you know, you look at whatever it is that you are wanting to decorate, and then you think, okay, now what do I have that I can put on here? You know, what do I have that's going to look really good on here? And then you go and you get it, right? I don't do that. I do it kind of backwards. I look at what I have. I go, okay, I've got this red thing. Where can this go? And then I start flipping through my pages until I find a place for it. And I stick it down. And then I grab the next thing. Okay, where can this go? And that's the way I design. It's the way I create. I start back. I don't start at the beginning. I start at the end and work my way back. I start with the decor and I build the room around it. I guess is basically what I do, which is why I don't really decorate my house, because you know, you kind of have to start with the room and add to it, and that's confusing to me. I start with the stuff and build around it. You can't really do that with a house. So, but you can in your journal, and that's what I do. I start with the stuff, the ephemera and the decorations, and then I figure out what to do with them and where to put them. So that's, I just sit on the couch and I flip through the book, and sometimes I will see something and I'll go, oh, wait, I have that little thing, where is it? And then I'll go look for it and stick it down. But most of the time I pick up 3 or 4 things over here and then I flip through the book until I find a place for them. And then when I get to the end, I'll pick up, you know, 3 or 4 more, and then I work my way back this way and I find a place for them. That's how I've done this entire book, is just find the little doodads and then I go to the book and figure out where to put them. And that works for me. So, there you go, FYI. And I think that is all I have to say about this. The end.